Hi, folk. I really appreciate these times. Love to share the Word of God. Love to encourage people. I trust you receive this devotion in the spirit that's it's intended. You know, Proverbs 25:25 reminds us that like cold water to a weary soul, so is good news from a distant land. And I trust that you're encouraged by the word I share with you today. You know, if there's ever a day where life needs to be interpreted correctly, it's right now. Many believers struggle when the wind is no longer blowing in their favor. You know, Jesus told the disciples in the Gospels, he said, go to the other side. He went up the mountain to seek the face of God, and he knew that there was a storm on the horizon. He's the all-knowing God. So nothing takes God by surprise. This season that we're living in hasn't taken God by surprise. You know, in seasons of difficulty, God helps us to get realigned to Him. I love what Hebrews 12:26 and 27 says, and it reads, quote, at that time His voice shook the earth, but now He has promised, once more I will shake not only the earth, but also the heavens. Right now, folk, powerful nations are being shaken. You know, the words once more indicate the removing of what can be shaken, that is, created things, so that what cannot be shaken, the eternal, will remain. Even when Jesus walks on the water towards the disciples in the midst of the storm, due to their stress, they don't recognize Him. In fact, they all call out almost in chorus, it's a spirit. They're talking about an evil spirit. It wasn't an evil spirit at all. Jesus was walking on water. He was in charge. Jesus is always sovereign. Nothing takes Him by surprise. You see, in the midst of difficulty, the disciples lost their perspective. God, everybody God uses goes through experiences that cause them to let go of the temporal and embrace the eternal. Job went through it. One day he had everything, the next day he had nothing. And in times like this, we then discover what's meant by things that cannot be shaken. They are things that are worth living for. Like our character. Character is not what we know, it's who we are. Christianity is not a culture, it's a way of life. It's a relationship. It's desiring to be more like Jesus. I like what James says in James chapter 1, verse 2 to 4. He says this. He says, dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you'll be perfect and complete, needing nothing. You see, when the winds blow contrary, God is up to something. Take courage. God is on the job. Good can and will come out of this. For those whose faith is in Him, you watch what God will do. The disciples got to the other side. Romans 8:28 says this, God causes all things to work together for good, for them that love God, for them that are called according to His purpose. And the next verse says that we might be conformed to His image. Folk, we'll get to the other side. Let not your heart be troubled. God bless.